on CNN last night, they dropped a video of the preceding moments before the tape that we've all now seen where she accelerates into the officer and he shoots her. Now we've seen what she did in the moments before. First, I'm going to let you hear how Anderson Cooper describes it. And it's truly like, gee, who knows? Who knows what we're seeing? No, we know exactly what we're seeing because we can see it with our eyes. And we all have seen now the eyewitness accounts that she was parked perpendicular to oncoming traffic, Anderson. This is the video proof of it unfolding before your eyes. Just tell the audience the truth. Here he is.
CNN has obtained some new video. Again, it's grainy and distant, but it shows 4 full minutes leading up to the shooting. It shows Renee Good's maroon Honda Pilot entering from the right there. Then 20 seconds later, someone gets out on the passenger side. We don't know who or why this person leaves the car. We then see her turn and pull perpendicular across the street, seeming to block the way. But as you see here, leaving room for vehicles to pass by her on either side. Finally, there is this new angle of the federal officer who shot her. He arrives. Another federal SUV pulls up. As the ICE officer briefly goes back to his car, then he returns, and with another agent grabbing at her door, she starts to move forward. Again, it's hard to see. That may reveal. It says nothing about why Renee Good was where she was or what she was doing there.
What? Says nothing.
Isn't it so brilliant what they do, though, Megyn? Because when it's all on video, like these scumbag liars like Anderson Cooper, it's brilliant, isn't it? Because it's all on video. And even your liberal Aunt Peggy, as she's done, sniffing her antidepressants, even she can watch video, right? So he can't come out and say she wasn't there. He can't come out and say she was just cruising along and ICE pulled up beside her and gunned her down. That doesn't work, right? So what do you have to do if you're in the media? If you're a communist and you're trying to protect the narrative at all times, protect the revolution, you just have to give people a little bit of an off-ramp. So instead of coming on the news and saying exactly what she was doing, of course, we're really not sure. We don't know who's getting out. I mean, she might have been trying to parallel park. She is a woman, after all. They have to act completely lost. Of course, if this was you, if this was me, if this was anybody else listening who's a normal human being, they would have all the facts. They'd be crucifying you for every hour on CNN. They would drill down on everything. But of course, because it's an apparatchik who got caught doing horrible things like they always do, it always said, well, we're confused. The facts are still coming in. The video was grainy. That's exactly what they do. It's evil and it's brilliant, to be honest.
Who could know?
Yeah, who knows?
There's no way. It says nothing about Renee Good, where she was or what she planned to do, except for the fact that she was perpendicular to oncoming traffic. But he points out cars could go around the front or the back. I guess she needed a bigger truck, is what Anderson is pointing. Like her SUV wasn't quite big enough to block both lanes of oncoming traffic, but she sure did try. This is such gaslighting, and here's more of it. Rachel Maddow, SOT 3.
I mean, the key is nonviolent protest. And this woman who got shot in Minneapolis, this mom, she was not doing anything violent. Had she been trying to drive into those federal agents, she would have steered toward them, not away from them.
Thank goodness we have a video of what happened, because otherwise it might have gone unquestioned.
Oh my God, Jesse.
Just a wife and a poet, Megyn. Just a wife and a poet on her way to softball practice. She must have slipped on the ice. It's terrible what they do. And you know what's really horrible about that is Rachel Maddow with her rhetoric. Her and Jimmy Kimmel, they're the exact type of elite communists we talked about at the beginning of this show. They will lie to their audiences every single night without end until that person, that broken person at home, whoever they are, finally gets up and decides to go do something about it. And that person will go off and lose their lives. And Rachel Maddow and Jimmy Kimmel, when they do it, won't lose a minute of sleep over the fact that they're the ones who drive that stuff. I am so careful with my audience, as I know you are, to implore them never to do anything to get yourself arrested, get yourself hurt, get yourself killed, because I dread the day, I pray the day never comes, Megyn, where I get some email of, my husband heard you say this and he went out and got killed or arrested. I think I would retire that day. I would be devastated if I thought the words I spoke hurt a normal person out there. But these people they don't have any hesitation at all. No remorse, no nothing, no sorrow for the 6-year-old boy who now has one of his mothers gone. Nothing at all. They don't feel anything, just soulless.
It's incredible to me that they'll just lie right to their audience's faces and gin up their anger with absolutely no care for who gets hurt, whether it's their audience or a federal law enforcement officer. And now the new narrative has turned into kind of what you heard Rachel Maddow say there, which is she had turned her wheels, Jesse. You see, she backed up. They were telling her, get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. And she wasn't. She wasn't complying. She was resisting. And then she tried to flee. She backed up. And then she turned her car and hit a cop. She did hit him. And by the way, his father has now confirmed that on the record with the Daily Mail, the officer's father. He was hit. And now the new narrative has been, well, she backed up. But then when she pulled forward, you can see that the wheels of her car for a split second were turned to the left. And the cop was more to the right. You see, so she wasn't intending to run him down, which, by the way, she would have had he not shot her. He was hit. We see it on camera. But that's the new line. And yesterday on this program, we showed the audience video. It's disturbing, but we're going to show it again, of a cop in Baltimore who chased this bad guy into a cul-de-sac in Baltimore, Maryland, and told him to get out of the car. He pretended he was getting out of the car. She thought she had him. And he killed her. He ran over her with his car. Forgive me, this is the videotape. I'm showing it to you for a reason.
As the Jeep continued to advance, Officer Caprio got off one shot. WJZ won't show the rest, but a somber jury saw and heard Amy Caprio dying from massive crushing injuries.
Now, I want the listening audience to know this cop was on the side of the car, same as the officer involved in the conflict in Minneapolis. She was on like the front side headlight of it. He's coming at her from the side. He backs up and he rams her. It happens in a second. A second. He goes from stopped to she's dead with, as you heard them describe, massive injuries. She got one shot off and she died. She died, Jesse. And now it was Will Chamberlain, I think, of the Article 3 Project Online, who was saying to the people like Rachel Maddow, who are focused on the direction of this Renee Goods front tires, pointing to this video saying, you know, maybe she didn't get a look at the tire. She should have looked at those tires before she, you know, made her decision. She would have seen them pointed at her instead. Like the absurdity of these leftists. Fucking Rachel Maddow, who makes $30 million a year for doing 1 hour a week in her multi-million-dollar mansions that we've shown because she puts them on the air. She wants us to see what a luxurious life she lives, is going to sit there and second guess this ICE officer who lives, we now know, on the outskirts of Minneapolis in a working class neighborhood. He's married. He's got kids of his own. He's working as a cop, Jesse. He doesn't make $30 million a year for 1 damn hour. And she's going to mislead them about he should have seen the way the tires were in between her backing up to ram him and hitting him.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, it's a vehicle. It's the people say, well, she didn't have a weapon. She had the deadliest weapon of any of them. She had a deadlier weapon than anybody in law enforcement had there. She had a 4,000-pound car. As you mentioned, it happens in an instant. And everybody with even the slightest bit of legal knowledge or law enforcement knowledge knows that you cannot take chances when it's a car. This is exactly why cops will oftentimes do seemingly very dangerous things to get one of these speeding cars trying to get away from the cops off the road. They're not doing that because they watched Dukes of Hazzard too much when they were kids. They're doing that because that 4,000-pound car coming down the highway can kill anybody, lots of people, in an instant. I know maybe they didn't educate their communist street animals that that's a deadly weapon because they want them to go out and do terrible things, but it is a deadly weapon. And when you're told to stop, stop. And when you're told to get out, get out. And you don't get to hide behind, I was panicking, I turned my tires a different way. If you don't comply, you are going to die. That is how it works. That's how it's always worked. And for the safety of everybody, including the civilians, that's how it has to work in a society. But of course, the Rachel Maddows know that.
Stephen Colbert disagrees with you entirely. This is how he would spin the message you just offered. Listen here.
So the message from this administration is clear. Only they determine the truth. And when their forces come to your city, obey or die. And if you die, you clearly didn't obey.
Okay.
Except
it's a little out of context.
It's all on camera. This is, you know what's, there's something that's funny. I mean, like, I should, not funny, but it is in a way funny to me, is how many years, Megyn, did you hear the left talk about, well, we want everything recorded. We want body cameras. We want this. And that. This was a big activism thing on the left. Because, of course, once the cameras come out, once everyone gets a cell phone camera and everyone has a body camera, then, of course, that's going to prove that these cops are a bunch of violent nutballs. And racist, of course. We always have to throw in racist. Very, very racist. They do a lot of very racist things. And since we've had everyone with a cell phone camera and body cameras, what we've discovered is, no, actually, we have a bunch of very violent, horrible people in this country who do horrible things, and cops are now routinely put in an impossible situation. And in a blue hellhole like Minneapolis, thank God this guy was a federal officer doing federal things, because you and I both know in a place like Minnesota, he would be spending most of the rest of his life in prison, just like Derek Chauvin is, no matter what he did.
Oh, they would Derek Chauvin him.
Yeah.
In 60 seconds. Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. So the recklessness of these people, right? Like this, they truly are painting this Renee Good like she was a saint. I listened to NPR Up First this morning. Normally I cut sots and I play the audience what this crazy leftist podcast does, just because it's entertaining and it's an example of the left. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't go back over it. Literally everything they said was misleading. They didn't even offer the fact that she rammed the officer. It was completely like, oh, this wonderful woman. They literally told us what was on her Pinterest page, Jesse. They were getting into what's on her Pinterest page. Nothing about how she had parked perpendicular. She was blocking the traffic. She resisted arrest. She accelerated into an officer. Nothing. A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.